What if the secret to landing your dream job isn't just what you say, but how you say it? Think about that for a moment. You might have the right skills, the right experience, even the perfect resume. But when you walk into that interview room, the way you present yourself through language can be the deciding factor. In this episode, we're diving deep into formal English for job interviews. I'll show you not just how to speak, but also how to listen, how to structure your responses, and how to use nonverbal communication to your advantage. By the end of this session, you'll walk away with practical, easy-to-use tools that will help you sound polished, professional, and confident, even in high-pressure interview settings. So if you're ready to stand out from the competition, let's unlock your professional voice. When we think of formal English, many people assume it means using complicated vocabulary. Words like utilize instead of use, or commence instead of start. But here's the truth. Sounding smart is not about big words. It's about precise communication. In an interview, clarity is king. An employer isn't impressed by how many advanced words you know. They're impressed by how clearly you can explain your thoughts. If you can explain a complex project in simple, formal, and confident English, that shows two things. First, you understand your subject deeply. And second, you respect your listeners' time and attention. Formal English also sets the tone for the entire conversation. Imagine walking into an interview and saying, "Hey, yeah, I kinda did some stuff like marketing, just making ads and things." Now compare that to, "In my previous role, I was responsible for leading digital marketing campaigns that increased online engagement by 35%. The second version is clear, structured, and confident. That's the tone of formal English. It transforms your first impression before you even finish your first sentence. And remember, your professional voice starts before you even open your mouth. The interviewer is already forming an impression the moment you enter the room, or in virtual interviews, the moment you log into the call. Your posture, your greeting, even the way you say hello, "It's nice to meet you." These details already communicate something about you. Instead of just saying, "Hi, I'm Alex," try "Good morning. Thank you for having me today. My name is Alex Johnson, and I'm very glad to be here." It's still simple, but it signals respect, confidence, and professionalism right away. Now, let's shift gears and talk about something most candidates underestimate: listening. When people prepare for interviews, they usually focus on their answers, what they'll say, how they'll describe their experience, how they'll impress the interviewer. And that's important. But the way you listen can be just as powerful as the way you speak. Interviewers rarely ask a question just for the surface level answer. There's usually a deeper layer behind the words. For example, when an interviewer asks, "Tell me about a time you handled a challenge at work," they're not just interested in the story itself. They want to know if you can stay calm under pressure, if you solve problems independently, and if you can explain the situation clearly in English. That means you need to read between the lines. Whenever you hear a question, pause for just half a second and think, what skill are they really testing here? That pause helps you go beyond the surface and answer with purpose. Active listening also matters. It's more than nodding along. It's about proving you're engaged. Small confirmations like "I see" or "that makes sense" signal that you're paying attention. You can even paraphrase part of the question before answering. If they ask, "Tell me about a project you're proud of," you might start with, "Of course, one project I'm particularly proud of was." This reassures them that you understood, and it gives you a smoother transition into your response. And what if you don't understand the question? Many candidates make the mistake of nodding along and trying to guess. But here's the smarter move. Politely ask for clarification. In formal English, you might say, "Just to make sure I understood correctly, you'd like me to share an example of?" Or, "Could you please clarify whether you mean in my current role or across my career in general?" These don't make you look unprepared. In fact, they often impress interviewers because you're showing precision and professionalism. Now, let's talk about crafting your responses. Interviews aren't casual conversations. They're structured opportunities to prove your value. And in those moments, every word matters. One way to elevate your answers is to use strong active verbs. Compare, "I was involved in a project that improved customer service," with, "I spearheaded a project that improved customer service." The second version shows initiative and leadership. Other strong verbs include achieved, implemented, developed, streamlined, facilitated, negotiated, delivered. The golden rule: choose verbs that show action and impact, not just participation. At the same time, avoid fillers and slang. Nervous candidates often slip into habits like like, you know. For example, "So, I kind of like managed a team of 5, basically to improve results." Clean it up and it becomes, "I managed a team of 5 to improve results." Same information, but one version is hesitant while the other is confident. Slang words like "awesome" or "crushed it" may work with friends, but in an interview, replace them with "successful," "effective," or "achieved." Now, how do you keep your answers structured? That's where the STAR method comes in. STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. It's a simple framework to organize your thoughts. If asked about a difficult problem, you might say, "In my previous role as a customer service manager, we noticed a rising number of complaints about delayed responses. My goal was to reduce response times while maintaining quality. I introduced a ticket prioritization system and trained my team to handle urgent cases first. Within 3 months, our average response time dropped by 40%, and customer satisfaction scores rose significantly." Concise, structured, and memorable. And remember, crafting polished responses doesn't mean memorizing scripts. In fact, sounding robotic can hurt you. Instead, practice the structure and the tone. Record yourself answering questions, listen back, and ask, "Did I use strong verbs? Did I avoid fillers? Was my answer clear?" This kind of self-awareness builds precision, but words alone aren't enough. Communication also relies on nonverbal cues, tone, body language, and facial expressions. Your tone is your invisible handshake. A calm, confident voice can instantly reassure an interviewer. Avoid monotone delivery. Vary your pitch slightly to show enthusiasm. Control your pace. Nerves often make people talk too fast. And match your tone to the moment. Measured when discussing challenges. more positive when sharing successes. Body language matters too. Sit upright, shoulders relaxed but not slouched. Keep your hands natural, without over-gesturing or fidgeting. Avoid crossing your arms. An open, balanced posture signals confidence and approachability. Eye contact builds trust. Too little can make you seem unsure. Too much can feel intimidating. Aim for consistent but natural contact. In virtual interviews, look into the camera lens when speaking. It creates the effect of direct connection. And don't forget your facial expressions. A genuine smile at the beginning and end sets a positive tone. Slight nods while listening show engagement. Warmth is part of professionalism. When your words and nonverbal cues align, you project authenticity. You're not just reciting answers, you're connecting. But here's the final key: practice. Just like swimming, you can't master interviews by theory alone. You need real-world scenarios. Take common questions, like, tell me about yourself. Don't give your life story. Give a professional snapshot: who you are, what you've done that's relevant, and where you want to go. For example, I'm currently a project coordinator with 3 years of experience managing cross-functional teams. In my last role, I streamlined reporting processes that saved 15 hours a week across the department. I'm excited about this position because it allows me to apply my organizational skills to larger, more complex projects. Or the question, why this role? Don't say, I think it's a good opportunity. Instead, connect your motivation to the company's values. For example, I admire your company's focus on sustainable design. In my previous role, I led a green initiative that reduced waste by 20%. This role feels like a natural next step to continue contributing to projects that balance business goals with environmental impact. That's alignment. And here's how to refine. Record yourself, review your tone, your structure, your use of verbs. Then adjust. Replace weak verbs, cut filler words, slow down where needed. Practicing self-correction makes you sharper with every round. Finally, nothing beats a mock interview. Ask a friend or colleague to role play. Treat it seriously. Dress the part, set a timer, and ask for honest feedback. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but so are real interviews. The more you expose yourself to that pressure, the more natural and calm you'll feel when it truly matters. As I like to say, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's how growth happens. So, what have we discovered today? That formal English isn't about big words, but about clarity and precision. That listening is as important as speaking, because it lets you decode the real expectations behind questions. That polished responses require strong verbs, clean language, and structured storytelling. That nonverbal cues can amplify or undermine your words. And finally, that practice is the key to making all of this second nature. Remember, a job interview isn't just a test of knowledge. It's a performance, a conversation, and a chance to show not only what you've done, but who you are as a professional. So the next time you step into that interview room or log into that video call, you'll know exactly how to unlock your professional voice, listen with intention, and deliver answers that leave a lasting impression. Because at the end of the day, it's not just what you say that matters, it's how you say it.